beautiful day, needless to say.
A beautiful day in the neighborhood. A beautiful day in the
That's
neighborhood.
exactly right.
Should be
And
my neighbor.
that's right. And we've had so much fun today with people that are out and about, which is wonderful because this wonderful 40-degree temperature is so much better than what they're forecasting for the rest of the week. So glad to see so many people today, and hopefully that even if you decide that the weather this week is iffy, that you remember that Hen and Chick Studio is open 24/7 online.
We are.
And our entire store is there, so never fear. Your quilting needs are easily handled.
Yeah, and even if they're, what do I want to say, buried maybe
in.
they can't open their door from what sounds like some of our friends maybe
Oh my gosh,
forecasted to get for snow.
Absolutely.
They can make their wish list. They can peruse all of our
Abs-
helpful videos,
Yeah.
our tips and tricks videos. But I think it'd be really fun if they started to get ready for our next sew along.
Oh, that would be the perfect thing to be doing. And so that's a great reason to be talking about it today. So we're having a lot of fun with sew alongs here at Hen and Chick Studio. If you don't know where we're at, we are in Conrad, Iowa. But we love to know that we are reaching coast to coast, and we love that we have friends all over the place, and that makes it extra fun. But we've been having fun with some sew-alongs, and this is our third sew-along. Second one for the year. Yeah, the first one was in January.
Yeah,
Isn't that funny?
February,
like the time is already. So this is our second one for the year. And we know we keep it pretty simple around here because the idea is we want you to have fun, we want you to be creative, and we want you to make quilts.
And possibly even use your stash
Absolutely.
as you're using strips and not just sew along, but inspiration if you're choosing not to do
Correct.
So.
Correct. And every quilt, quilter has some kind of a stash. We get that. I have a stash. I love to use my stash.
Heidi, you have more than a stash, if we're honest. You have a wonderful stash of selection. Of
yes,
fabrics.
I do.
Some beautiful collections that are fermenting for the appropriate time.
For example, in our last sew along, which was the Hat Hooray pattern, I used cherry fabrics and had a lot of fun with that.
Yeah, and it was great because you went through and that was exactly what we're wanting people to do. Go through, find some stuff, and join us.
And along the way, you get to learn a few tips and tricks and everything. And so for this particular sew along, we're calling it the Sunday Best Sew Along. There is now a website page that you can go to that is Sunday Best Sew Along, and that's 4 words with a space in between each of those words, which becomes a dash. And that is where we're going to put the videos that we're going to be doing starting March 2nd. That's where we'll put the upload link, so that if you want to say, we'll keep updating that with information about the sew along.
And we're very excited about it, Heidi, because both you and I have enjoyed so far our own projects because we're sewing along.
That's right.
Which is very fun. But we're really excited because we continue to get positive feedback of people enjoying it. So certainly if you've done it before, encourage a friend to join you. If you haven't done it, there's no cost to you to participate or just to watch the videos.
That's correct. The only cost there is if you really want to make the exact project that we're making and get qualified for some awards, then you do need to have the book, Sunday Best Quilt. You can have purchased it from anywhere. It doesn't have to, we have copies of it. We would love to see you purchasing it from us. I will tell you this book is going out of print, and we do have a stash of them amongst our other stash of things. And so we can supply you at this point. We just, when you get a book, the value of a book is there's just so much in it. So how many patterns does this promote that it has in
13? I know it said 12.
12
must make quilts you'll love forever. And I agree with that description. The foreword in this book or intro, whatever, it talks about some of it. But you and I together have looked at this book several times for several projects.
Absolutely,
we could make that. You've probably looked at it.
I said we could make it. We could make every project in here if we had time. So if you think about the value of that, today patterns are going for $10 and $12 a piece. So let's use 10, easy math. So 12 projects times 10 individual patterns, you've got $120 book.
That's
and
true.
do you know what I mean, if you'd be buying $120 in patterns, and what does this book cost?
$27.99, I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
And of course, we do a flat rate shipping of $8.50.
I'm gonna see if I can flip through as you're talking a little bit about it, just to show like some of the beautiful. To give an idea of some of the stuff that's in here.
And I think they're classic. I think one of the things I really love about the patterns that are in this book, and it's just a beautiful layout of the book, but I think one of the things I like about them is that they're classic, and no matter what colorways you choose, you're going to be able to do that. And I love to see that we've got people who are ready to jump in, including Minerva.
Of course, Minerva's probably already going.
That's right. So you really can start anytime. If you have a copy of the book and you want to follow along, we're making Dayflower. That's the project that we're doing. It is sitting right back here. I'll click on the kit so that the picture pops
maybe
up.
See it a little bit better that way.
The picture will pop up so that you can see that. We're actually doing it in a brand new quilt kit colorway called Marvelous. And again, I'm going to click on that and it will pop up. And you can see that it's going to be in blues and gold. Again, to me, another very classic look.
Yeah.
But it will be very different than
absolutely very different. And I've said it to you and a few other people as well. This project is really 2.5-inch strips. Plus, we're calling it the background, which is
cornerstones.
The cornerstones here. That's really the yardage. But you could literally go in your stash and find 2.5 strips of every color, rhyme, reason. Wouldn't even have to be anything. It'd be a great way. It's that, and you talked about that anchor point.
Yes, and I think that's what really in all of these quilts, even in Pier 44,
which is another one in this book.
Yep, and it's another one that's in the book. And the other one would be to pull up and look at would be House and Home. And that one, we did it in a really soft pastel, kind of blues and pinks, but used, I'm looking right at it, kind of a taupey background color. And it just makes it stand out.
And I've never kind of noticed that secondary little pattern with the square and then the little diagonal thing.
Oh, yeah, there's multiple little patterns and things.
So you're looking at it that way.
Yeah.
But one thing I would say too, Heidi, when we're showing them these kits, these are kits that we have put together here at Hen and Chip Studio. So you're not going to find that same kit elsewhere.
That is exactly right. And again, one of the things that we talked about the other day that I am going to bring up about this cornerstone, I believe it's 2 yards, 2 7/8 yards, but literally if you have 3 yards, we're going to round it up, okay? That extra eighth of a yard, because we're going to make a mistake, right? If you have 3 yards of a cornerstone color, your foundation, your anchor, what other points could we call it, then you are going to be ready to match that with your fabrics. Oh, come this way.
You're wandering off screen.
Am I wandering off screen?
She's trying to get off.
Yes.
Not that easy around here.
Yes. And I think there's so many different combinations. Like you could do kids quilts and have a fun red line.
It does not have to be gray. Ours happens to be a charcoaly gray kind of. It does not have to be that by any means. It could be white. It could be cream.
Correct.
It could be red. It could be white. It could be whatever that song
violet.
Something.
Yeah,
We'll look it up next time. We'll practice it.
Yep. You know who sings that the best though? The best version of that song is oh my gosh, the 2 guys that did Spirited.
Oh yeah. Will Ferrell and
Ryan Reynolds, and they sang that song. It is the best version of a TikTok that I have to say I love. So okay, there you go. Sorry, sidetrack, but a great one.
It's a cute, catchy song.
It is cute.
But it can be anything. That's what we're talking about.
Yes.
It can be yellows. It can be any colors. It just that solid.
Yes.
It doesn't have to be a solid, solidifying, strong piece.
Yes, and I think that's what's interesting. Now I think we're going to have some discussion in the blue version, the Marvelous version that we're doing too.
Yeah.
That some of our logs in that in the block are going to maybe be darker, closer to the color of the historic cornerstones, and we'll talk about that because we're going to do 4 videos. The 4 videos, again, all free, as Jamie was saying. They start Thursday, March 2nd, and then the following 4 Thursdays in a row. So the 2nd, 9th, 16th, and the 23rd will all be videos. When we're done with those, when we're done doing those videos, then we will, of course, upload them onto that Sunday Best Sew Along page so that if you can want to go back and watch them, don't get to see them live, that kind of thing. We're going to be covering topics such as fabric selection.
One of our favorite ones.
Yep. And then cutting, again, another favorite. Piecing and finishing. And so each week we'll kind of touch on those topics and give
it's the same format. If you've done our other sew alongs, it's the same one, but every time there's something new to learn, and we learn it from each other. We learn it from you sharing with us as well. You can join our creative community if you're not a part of that to sew along and show your progress as well.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. Okay, so just want to reiterate that, okay, we're going to be using Sunday Best Quilts. And we're going to be using Dayflower, and the two of us are going to make Marlis as part of the process. But we do have the original Dayflower version, and then that book also has Pier 44 and House and Home. Now, one thing that I think we highly recommend, I think would be a way to say it, is a stripology ruler.
Absolutely.
And if we're going to be talking more about those during the cutting week, of course. If you do not have a stripology ruler and think, okay, there's three of them. There's a mini, a squared, and the XL. So if you're thinking, what should I do?
Ruler? Which one do I start with? Why would
Correct. And then we would suggest you go back to our cutting tips and tricks page and videos that we have that would help you see the benefits of using those. It is an expensive ruler. I'm going to just say that right out front.
Yeah,
it is $74.99. But when you get to use it on a regular basis and understand how to use it, it'll pay off big time. And you know what? I'm gonna tell on myself yesterday. So I was working on a store sample. The girls finished it up this morning. They'd started it, and I said, "Oh, I'll work on it a little bit Saturday night." I guess that's Saturday night. And I thought I was gonna take the shortcut. I did a couple testing, and the blocks were roughly 4.5. And anyway, long story short, I'm like, you know what? I've got to trim these up. And I used the mini stripology ruler to trim them all up to 4.5 inches square. And at times I was only cutting off a sliver.
A hair even sometimes, yeah.
But boy, oh boy, when I went back to put my sashing strips on, they were much more accurate. Yeah. And I think the quilt top will show that, and you'll get to see that soon.
And so those stripology rulers, we would strongly recommend. Again, the cutting tips and tricks page goes through that. You can do any of these projects that we show without a stripology ruler.
Yeah, or with or without.
Yep. The other thing that we would recommend is, do you have it on here, the pineapple one? Or
yes,
no?
I do.
Okay. Well, if you're interested in the Pier 44, which is more of your traditional pineapple, this is kind of a modified or modern pineapple. On this one, which I would love to be able to sit down and do, but time becomes limited sometimes. We would highly recommend that you get that, and Heidi put it up, the pineapple trim tool.
Yes, and you know who is watching us right now?
No, I don't know who's watching.
Stacy.
Oh, Stacy is?
Stacy is.
Oh,
and we miss you
Stacey.
too, Stacy.
Yes.
Can't wait to see you. Hopefully we'll see you very soon
Yes.
When you get home. And for anyone that feels compelled, I think Stacy would gladly accept any prayers as she is going through some radiation right now for some cancer. And we, of course, are praying heavily that as I said, burn, baby, burn on those cancer cells.
And as Stacy said, safely.
Yeah, safely. I said, well, this is a controlled burn.
Yeah.
The fire department is standing beside.
Yes.
It's a controlled burn. This
Yes.
is not an out of control burn.
Yes.
It's a, go right to what needs to be taken care of for Stacy.
Absolutely.
So glad you're watching with us, Stacy.
And don't worry, your bitty chicks are waiting.
Yes. Oh, but the stickers came too.
Oh, yeah. So we're ready for
okay,
Stacy.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we digress.
Yeah.
We would love to have you join along with us on the sew along. And if you have any questions about what we're doing, please don't hesitate to give us a call. But otherwise, get your Sunday Best Quilt book if you want to. I should say, the upload date will be April 13th. And the prizes will be April 18th. And you might be thinking, well, that seems like a long time. Well, it's a little bit bigger quilt.
Because we're giving it a little bit longer.
We're trying to make sure that it's doable. And if you're starting and
absolutely.
it's very, very doable, but giving you just a little bit of extra time. And eventually the upload links and all of that will be on that particular page as well. But in the meantime, start pulling your stash out and wait to watch for our video on March 2nd.
Yes, absolutely.
All right. Well, until the next time we see you, be creative.